Thanks, Kenzie. It's quiet here at the Canadian Tire Centre, but Steve Stales has done a lot of business in the last 10 days. He traded Captain Braden Schneider to the Florida Panthers. He acquired William
it's still a crazy trade.
San Jose Sharks, and he acquired winger Andre Burakovsky from the Chicago Blackhawks. Nick Cousins and Jordan Spence were both signed to new deals. But after acquiring the rights to backup goalie Samuel Ersson, the Senators did not give him a qualifying offer. I would expect that sometime after noon today, the Senators will announce that they have signed Ersson to a new 2-year deal to give them a solid backup behind Linus Ullmark.
So Merlinen's going to the minors.
They could use some depth on defense, and of course, they could use some jam. The biggest surprise here is that I felt that getting Claude Giroux signed was going to be the equivalent of a 2-foot putt, one that you can't miss. Talks went into last night and they failed. And like you on the golf course later today, Brian, the Senators and Claude Giroux's camp missed that putt, and he'll test the market.
Oh, Claude Giroux is going to test free agency.
Bruce. It's Canada Day, man. I thought we were all here acting like a team.
We're having a good time.
I haven't even played golf with Bruce.
Oh.
Man, ricochets.
It's Craig Berube,
I'm taking strays from
the coach that just got fired by the Leafs, now with TSN.
I'm not sure it's reciprocated, but
Nick Cousins, a 2-year extension with the Senators. For some reason, I thought it would be 4 or 5. Maverick Bourque traded to the Predators for draft picks.
Golf game here for sure.
Nick Robertson traded to the Penguins for a 4th-round pick.
A little over less than a week away from or past the NHL draft, and before Gavin McKenna was selected first overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Rofsky's a big one, and Jacob Trouba.
What do you think his
but Carlson's already traded.
From the NCAA to the NHL
they traded to the Panthers.
And how can the Leafs kind of make that transition a little easier for him?
Well, Laura, I think it's going to be a seamless transition.
Imagine if Trouba and Zook make a return to the Rangers.
Especially in a market like Toronto.
That would be interesting.
Gavin McKenna is uniquely prepared for this. At Penn State, he was the biggest
recruit
recruit
of course,
in
he's the first overall
history.
pick.
His first game, he's getting booed every time he touches
prepared.
the puck. The crowd is chanting overrated, and all he does is score the game winner with less than 2 minutes remaining and hits the forks down Selly in Arizona State. So you see that swagger.
Oh, Patrick Kane is a free
number 1
agent.
pick goes to a bad team, but in Toronto, he doesn't have to be the guy. He's got Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, all guys that he can lean on and potentially live with. Not to mention if they were able to sign Patrick Kane, who's his childhood idol, all of that sets him up for a pretty good position for success next season.
So all those boos, he'll be used to going to Ottawa.
Oh, Ovechkin's only 30th in UFA. You would think he'd be in the top 10.
First overall pick to kind of bounce
That's the
things
biggest
off of
question. Will you return to another year of Washington to try to get 1,000 goals?
Being a part of the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I would welcome the Kane addition, but you also have to find a fit for him. Is he going to be a top 6 guy, a bottom 6 guy? But that's something they can figure out.
For Patrick Kane.
Nick Robertson, as we learned, already on the move from Toronto, so the Leafs
have
already been busy here.
First is also the date that teams
Oh,
can
Gordon
announce extension
Miller.
for players whose contracts are up at the end of next season. And Pierre LeBrun, we have one. And a player that was talked about as a potential trade target was Nico Hischier, but he's back in New Jersey.
Yeah, there are a bunch of teams.
What? They were thinking of trading Nico Hischier?
Not sign an extension on this day. Montreal Canadiens being
he signed an extension. 5 years.
Captain has agreed to a 5-year extension, which doesn't kick in for another year at $11.7 million a year.
No, he's not a free agent. He's got to be was going to be a free agent at the end of next season, but now he's sticking around.
And be part of things.
And the other thing we've seen in recent years is teams trading for a player's rights before July 1st and then being able to sign him. The Florida Panthers bringing back Radko Gudas.
Yeah, they got his rights on Monday for
Radko
AJ
Gudas
Greer.
is back, and same for Jacob Markstrom.
And what's interesting about this contract is he goes...
We've been talking a lot about trades that have happened, and one guy whose name has been out there for about a month now,
but AJ Greer for 4 years.
Yeah. And,
The one I've seen free agency so far is pretty much bottom sixers, particularly fourth liners, getting star contracts.
It's important to note that
so many gross overpayments. Like I get the cap is, I know the cap is a lot more, but you got fourth liners getting paid like Connor McDavid.
On the blue line.
Okay, let's take a look. at the free agency and also the trades. Let's see, what do we got? 6 years? 6 years for Radko Gudas, who is 36 years old? 6 years for Radko Gudas. I have some understanding of the Brad Marchand gross overpayment, but 6 years for Gudas, a third-parent defenseman who's 36. Okay, major sign-in. What's the major sign-in? Yep, Nico Hischier. Wait, 5 years at 11 million. Wow, I thought it was 11 million overall. Okay, so what's next? Nick Cousins, at $1 million. Luke Cavalin. 6 years, 12 million for Boehm Byram. Man, are they seriously looking at Byram as the next star defenseman? Are they looking at him at the next Duncan Key for Brett Seabrook? I mean, the price they got to get him is one thing, but the extension, wow. See what else? But yeah, Jeremy Lauzon, 6 years, another gross overpayment. AJ Greer, 4 years, another gross overpayment. Bobby Brink going to Minnesota for another year. Sebastian Costa, which they just got in a trade, 2 years for $2 million. Wonder if he's going to be the next backup goalie under Karel Vejmelka. Nomoto, Stetcher, Kelso-Rain, McCarr. 6 years for Beck Malenstein, a fourth liner. 5 years, $4 million for Jack Drury. Pavel Dorofeyev, 7 years, $11 million. Pretty much replacing Panarin. 5 years, $7 million for Brent Clark. Brent Burns is coming back for another year. Brett Kulak for 5 years, almost $5 million. Tony DeAngelo back with the Islanders for 2 years. But yeah, but after that, we got Charlie Coyle, Michael McCarron for 6 years. A lot of that. But nothing, but let's see, what about trade? I mean, we know we got some Nick Robertson for a 4th round pick, Maverick Bork, and Ilya Yabushkin for a 2nd and a 3rd. And that's pretty much it so far.
Addressing who they're going to re-sign, who they're going to trade. They've done some really nice, tidy work in terms of acquiring first-round draft picks.
Yeah, Maxim Siplikov is with the Flames now.
A really good position come the opening of the new building. In
Stroma is the most paid centerman in the Flames. But it's likely going to be Frost or Backlund getting the first line center.
But even if he does start the season as a Jet, this organization still needs a backup goaltender. Eric Comrie is not signed at this point. Could that
Dominic
change? Maybe. As it
DiVincentis.
stands right now, one of the Moose goaltenders from last year, Dominic DiVincentis or Thomas Milic, would slide into that spot.
Thomas
Now,
Milic.
they're also looking
they
for
should give it to Thomas
center, something they've
Milic.
been
I know
looking
he's
for
good.
quite some time. And if they're not,
I think the idea of Darnell Nurse returning is something we're going to be hearing more and more about if there's a pathway to that being able to happen. Regardless of whether Nurse comes or goes, goaltending needs to be addressed. I think
definitely new goaltender, new head coach. But the problem is the new head coach is Mike Babcock.
Can they hang their goaltending hopes on that? I think they're going to hedge their bets. I definitely think the owners will look to bring in another goaltender, whether that's through free agency or trade. They need somebody to push.
Seriously, you got rid of the coach that brought you to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years, and the underwhelming season, losing to the Ducks for so so bad that you had to replace him with a literal dinosaur?
With Farhan Lalji on the Canucks.
Thanks, Reese. This is the latest opportunity for Vancouver's new leadership team of Ryan Johnson and the Sedin twins to put their fingerprints on this organization, and that process.
Like, this is definitely not going to end badly for the Oilers. Nope, not at all. Oh yeah, Brendan Gallagher is with the Canucks.
They moved on from Nils Höglander,
and he got traded for future considerations.
Trying to get bigger, trying to get
like,
faster,
I understand Gallagher isn't good anymore, but still, he's been with Montreal for so many years. A veteran presence and all that stuff. And they just traded him for absolutely nothing.
Elias Pettersson's name is always out.
We are asking the question, which of these new NHL combos are you most excited to see just what unfolds next season?
McDavid and Babcock. It's definitely not the most exciting. No, Ruck twins. We don't know if they're gonna play immediately or just one of them.
Next season. Oh,
I'm gonna go with.
But it's between the. But it's likely the Kachuk brother
on the planet, and you have got a coach that hasn't won a playoff series since 2013. And he's been mired in all these other issues in Columbus, and it didn't work in Toronto. And for some reason, the Edmonton Oilers felt that this was the best guy somehow to get him over the hump.
But seriously, why? You had Bruce Cassidy available.
He's creative. He's got those.
I mean, sure, it was getting denied because of Vegas, which is stupid. But you had the chance to get Bruce Cassidy. Cassidy would be so much better than Mike Babcock.
Really interested to see it.
Doesn't it have to be the Kachucks?
Yeah, Matthews and McKenna definitely. And the Kachuk brothers. The brothers being on the same team in Florida. Like, seriously, if Florida doesn't make it back to the doesn't win the cup, let alone make it back to the playoffs, despite this, it will be a shock. I mean, keep in mind, the only reason why the Panthers missed the playoffs this season is because everybody was injured.
I still feel Matthews is the
Free Agent Frenzy is presented by Harvey's. Summer just got hotter with Harvey's. Burgers, shakes, snacks, and more are all just $3. Harvey's, it's a beautiful thing.
There's a Canadian thing. No, it's also an American thing as well. Oh, Dan Vladar was a free agent. I didn't know that. 5 years, $5 million for Dan Vladar. I mean, he's the new #1 goalie, and he has done very well, so it makes sense to extend him. Wait, the Senators are interested in Will Borgen? Would a trade be possible? Woo! Ivan Demidov for 8 years, $9 million. I didn't know he was a free agent, but really good signing from Montreal.
Being part of this cap culture that they've created here in Montreal. When you think of what Slafkovsky's at, and Suzuki, and Caulfield, even Late Hudson already looks like a bargain at his salary. So yeah, it's a lot of money for Ivan Demidov after 1 year in the NHL, but I think it's a contract that's going to age well.
Remember too, this was the end of the year window.
It's definitely a good contract.
Right.
But no question about it. Demidov is the future. This is a fast team.
Wait, what did they say for the Capitals?
He's right in line with that. But I really do love his IQ and his ability. Really,
Trevor Van Riemsdyk going to the Penguins. Olin Zellweger, 3 years by 3.
Yeah. So having this guy at 9.
Brendan Gallagher, longest standing player. And they said it's not going to work anymore.
As a general manager,
but then to trade him for absolutely nothing.
You got to do him for what's best for the team, and that's what they did.
And that's so Scott Laughton replacement.
Probably is.
They were last year and he was hurt.
Eric Holla is going to Canes for 2 years.
Yeah, he's good defensive centerman.
Toronto Maple Leafs look to be closing in on a deal with Sergei Bobrovsky at this point. It could happen. It could still fall apart. We don't know. But at this point, it looks like...
Henrik Lundqvist loved him in New York. They loved him in Minnesota. And now Pierre LeBrun is on the move.
I'll tell you who loved him in Minnesota is Kirill Kaprizov. I mean, they had great chemistry. And tough loss for a while. They got so many cap issues, they
Zuccarello's
just couldn't
going to the
keep him. And
Canes.
LA Kings signed him for $1 million plus bonuses. He'll go play with Artemi Panarin and try and find chemistry there on that team that needed offense. 1-year deal, pretty good.
So Zuccarello's no longer in Minnesota.
So we talk
Would have been nice if Zook
Zuccarello.
comes back to the Rangers.
Quinn Hughes.
See. Oh, Eric Gustafsson is no longer with the Red Wings. He's going to the Canes. Hopefully he gets a rebound there. Zuccarello, 1 year, $1 million. Oh, he gets to play with Panarin. Maki Samoskevich, 3 years with the Kraken. Eric Holla, 2 years. Connor Mazer, Alonzo. Anything? Oh, E2 used to reign in for 8 years. Interesting. Jonathan Berggren is on extension with the Blues for a year. And nothing on trade yet. Several teams are interested in Berggren. If we can move him. If we can move Berggren, that would be great.
Surrounded by a little more talent, right? That's important. Those are important.
So chances are we could have John Carlson playing with Jacob Slavin.
Find a more suitable place for him to be, and I would imagine there's a lot of suitors.
So Jaffield will be on the pair with Keandre Miller.
Season on the ice, exceptional as it's been for
And what about Shane Gostisbehere?
Still run a power play.
They were playing him 25.
Okay, so Shane Gostisbehere is staying for another year.
Around him, so they.
Yeah, so listen, Carlson's camp led by agent Rick Kern, they've had 4 days.
So Nikishin is a free agent, so they could let him go.
The fact Carolina's been trying a lot of different things. They tried on Maverick Bork, didn't get him. But at the end of the day, there was another offer made by Carolina, I'm told, at around 11:45 a.m. Eastern. It was turned down. It was below what the Carlson camp wanted. So for now, Carlson's camp now taking calls from other teams now that the market is open.
Other teams?
Teams that I believe that have called.
So Carlson might not stay in Carolina?
Flyers, among others.
Dregs, Mason Marchment's a hot commodity today. His dad, Brian, was a very popular San Jose Shark who went on to work for them in their player development system before passing away. Is he headed there?
Yeah, an emotional connection, and that was our sense right out of the gate when we signed on earlier today that Mason Marchment would end up in San Jose. We believe it's a multi-year deal. I mean, this is a
Mason Marchment's going to the Sharks.
A lot of teams around the National Hockey League. Speculation around the Maple Leafs, maybe the
Oh, it looks like Marchment is going to be a replacement for William Eklund.
Is Jaden Schwartz, right? Leaving Seattle to sign with the Colorado Avalanche. That really.
Oh, Jaden Schwartz is going to the Avalanche.
That's a 3-year contract at $3.25 million.
Played his college hockey at Colorado College, so it makes a lot of sense. We talk about the Florida Panthers. You talk about their stars, obviously, their big names. The other thing the Panthers have is one of the best supporting casts in
But seriously, the Sharks are going to be a deadly team this upcoming season. Not just with the draft picks, but Marchment,
Stanley Cup in 2025, playing alongside
and
Brad Marchand
Celebrini, Will
the Panthers.
Smith,
Another thing they do well,
Michael
they keep their own
Misa,
talent. He
Tyler
gets an
Toffoli,
8-year extension
Wenberg,
card with a $5 million AAV, and this is something we've seen Florida do consistently.
Stenberg.
Mentioned the Radko Gudas signing earlier today at 6 years. They stretch out the term in order to get those.
Seriously, next year has to be the year the Sharks make it back to the playoffs.
The tax advantage, right? I mean,
he was the guy I thought might get
Yeah,
the highest.
I know Marchment will be on the first line with Celebrini and Smith.
Forward, and he's going to get 35. It looks like it's a good number. Good forward. He's physical. Plays with edge.
And then I'm guessing the second line will be Stenberg,
Kiefer Sherwood.
Misa and Toffoli. Oh, the Sharks are trying to get Morgan Riley.
We know that, right? Maybe there's someone lurking.
So the third line for the
And you were
Sharks
talking a little bit about it earlier, MJ, is with
might
Rosicky,
be
whether or
Colin
not- and
Graf,
because the head
Alexander
stuff and
Wenberg, and
he's aging
Kiefer
as well.
Sherwood. And the fourth line might be Kurashev, Goudreau, and Reeves.
And we bring him in now.
Oh, there
Mason,
he
congrats.
is.
How cool is this going to San Jose?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's full circle, and me and my family couldn't be more excited.
So we were talking about, how San Jose is set up for the future, and one player in particular in Macklin Celebrini and how he's kind of changed the whole reputation of that team. What do you know of Celebrini, and how much of an impact did that have on you signing there, the fact that he and other young players are really, moving and shaking in the right direction for San Jose?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just it. He comes in and he really took the league by storm, and just playing against him, watching clips of him, he's a one of a kind of player. So just to go join them and help build that, and something I've always kind of in the back of my head kind of wanted to do, and I think it's perfect timing. They're on the up, and they got so many young talented players, and Jersey's done a great job of bringing in some guys to help them, and hopefully I can be one of those guys. So.
Well, and you're walking into a division you're somewhat familiar with, right? With, Vegas there and Edmonton there. You're going to be taking on a few Western Canadian teams. And there was a lot of debate, a lot of rumors in terms of how many teams might be knocking on your door. I'm sure there were a lot. How deep into conversation with your family, with your agent did you get to maybe going elsewhere, or was it always going to be San Jose?
Yeah, there were definitely, a couple options, but, they were one team, that was right at the top of my list, like I said, with all the young skill and stuff they have there. So
Braden Schwartz to the Avalanche.
There's a lot of people I'm comfortable there, and, it's going to be fun. But, at the end of the day, I thought it was just the best place for me. And, I love the way the team's going. And, I think it was mostly San Jose the whole way.
I'm sitting beside the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, and he's a little bit disappointed with you. He said he saw you on the range, and you promised him you'd allow him to break the news. Can you confirm or deny that?
Well, he was trying to get some info out of me, and I kept strong, so.
Okay. You're not the only one. Everyone does that with him, so you don't have to concern yourself at all. We'll catch you up on the range.
I'll give him all the info he wants now.
Attaboy. He'll come reaching you. He'll come find you, absolutely. So enjoy the rest of your summer. Congrats, and good luck in San Jose. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You got it. There's Mason Marchment.
Well, Ryan Lomberg is going to Columbus. I thought he was going to stay with the Flames for a year. Let's see what else. Ian Cole is going to go $40 million for a year for the Blackhawks. Oh, Corey Perry got another year with the Canes. You just sign in. Yeah, Mason Marchment, 7 years. 5 years, $7 million. Braden Schwartz, 3 years, $3 million. Oh, there, Oosterainen, 8 years, $5 million. This looks good. Ooh! Jonas Korpisalo got traded to the Red Wings for Kale Väisänen. Wait, isn't that our guy? Wasn't Kale Väisänen our guy? Or is it a different one? Wait, now they're saying it's going to the Rangers? No. Do not tell me Korpisalo's going to the Rangers, please. No. Please do not do that. I do not want Korpisalo with the Rangers. The Korpisalo sucks, and we have Dylan Garand. No. This can't be right. No. You traded a 4th round pick and Kale Väisänen for Korpisalo. Why would you bring Korpisalo? We have Dylan Garand. Dylan Garand is supposed to be the backup of the future. Why would you bring Korpisalo? God damn it. The moment where it looked like we were quiet, this happened. Why couldn't Korpisalo go to the Red Wings? Why couldn't he go to the Red Wings? Seriously, I was suspecting the dumb trade would be getting rid of Trocheck or getting rid of Schneider, not bringing in Korpisalo. Seriously, a guy that only that's been having a save percentage of less than 900. Why would you bring Korpisalo? And we're gonna have him for 2 more years. We're gonna have him for 2 more years at $4 million. Korpisalo's gonna be the new backup goalie, not Dylan Garand. Seriously, just why? Just why? Seriously, Korpisalo is not who we need. Garand, this is supposed to be Garand's future. Just look at this. Look at this. Like, seriously, this, moves like this is why we keep missing the playoffs. Good players getting traded for players that absolutely suck. Seriously, what the hell were you thinking, Drury? Dylan Garand waited so long to make an appearance. He got his chance last season. Jonathan Quick retired, and we got the extension, and when Garand finally gets a chance to shine, this move has to happen and be like, nope, you're staying in the minors, Garand. Seriously, I swear to God, if Garand gets angry and wants out of New York, seriously, why would you bring Korpisalo, one of the worst goalies in the league? Seriously, why couldn't you just send him to the Red Wings? Why? Ilya Mikheyev going to the Lightning for 4 years.
Today's not a trade deadline. Zach Werenski does not have to be dealt today, despite the fact that we're all here on set and hoping.
Yeah. And we don't know if he's going to be traded or Werenski will come back to Columbus.
Insider's a stretch, but this one I'll take. Boston Bruins and my brother Brendan Gaunce have agreed on a contract with Boston. With Boston, my brother goes to a team that needs
Brendan Gaunce with the Bruins.
Face-offs. Last year, he had 57% with Columbus, had a couple shorthanded goals for them. And what Boston gets is my mom's favorite son, along with
my next order now. Jack Rothenbeck is a guy who a couple years ago looked like his career was stalled, had a 9-goal season. But since then, kind of resurrected things with Carolina, and then last year in Edmonton, back-to-back 20-goal years, and now he's a
Toronto Maple Leaf. Jack Rothenbeck lands a 2-year deal.
Jack Rothenbeck's going to the Leafs.
cap hit. And
2
this will
years.
be a much better summer for Jack Roslovic because, as you remember, he was on the
Definitely going to be helping out with the depth.
Weathered a long wait and before he got
Oh,
his deal
Sammy
ultimately in
Urson
October
got 2
with the
years
Oilers.
with
But that proved
with
to be
the
a good
Ottawa
fit.
Senators.
He had a nice season there, and the Leafs obviously have some roster holes up front, and so he's being tapped here to step in, and he'll be playing a meaningful role for them.
Victor Arvidsson leaving the Boston Bruins, signing a 2-year deal at $5 million a season with the Detroit Red Wings. Arvidsson, 25 goals this year. Was kind
Arvidsson
of
with the
reborn,
Red
was healthy.
Wings.
He is headed to Detroit.
What do you make of it, Craig? Jack Roslovic is a player and joining the Maple Leafs, and where could he play?
Yeah, we talked about him last
I mean,
year.
Roslovic could be on this.
Free agency at this time, and the guy, he can put the puck in the net. I think he's got some relationship.
I
with
mean, definitely be
Matthews,
good
so
for the top
it's
6.
sort of a good fit that way.
Like,
but he can put the puck.
I
in
know
the net, so,
the first
and they
line
need
would
help
be
scoring.
McKenna, Matthews, and Nylander, while the second line being Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, and Jack Roslovic.
Ground and pound game, I don't. But if he can move out there and complement other players and put some pucks in the back of the net, then that's what he's brought in.
Max
for.
Domi would be in the third line, but he has suffered a bad injury, which could possibly be a career-ending
I'm more looking at the
injury.
skating element because when you looked at one.
Eric Howla heading to L.A., and he joins us now here on Free Agent Frenzy. Eric, congrats. My understanding is there he is. There's Henny, the boy. I love it. So you're all heading out, shipping out to L.A. Take us through your thought process here, why it made sense for you and the whole Howla gang.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't lived in California yet, so we figured why not try that out. Just kidding. Obviously, it's a great place to live, and quality of life is high. The team has great potential. Excited about the coaching and all that's going on over there. So
Ooh,
really
Tyson
excited to
Forster,
join and looking
8-year
forward to the opportunity.
extension.
Yeah, and Peter Laviolette obviously
For
getting the
$7
job there in
million.
L.A. How familiar are you with what
With
you
the
might
Flyers.
expect out of him walking into L.A. this year?
Yeah, I expect a
Arvidsson,
guy
2
who's gonna,
years,
you know,
$5
demand a lot,
million.
and that's what you want from your coach. So, like I said, just looking forward to get started.
And Anze Kopitar is leaving L.A., so, it fills a void up the middle of the ice, leadership as well. Drew Doughty's still there, but, you're a veteran in the league now. How much responsibility do you expect to take once you walk into that room in terms of Kopitar leaving, you and others coming in?
Yeah, I mean, been on a few teams now, and I think the best way to go into a new situation is baby steps. Just get to know everybody.
Oh,
your
Stuart
teammates, staff, all
Skinner
that, and then things
is
kind of
going to the
fall into
Jets.
place accordingly. So, just looking forward to going in there, getting the family set up, and then baby steps of getting to know everybody.
So
and
chances
then,
are
kinda
Skinner will
feeling
be
it
the
out.
backup
That's,
goalie for
that's
the
what's been
Jets.
working lately, and
Definitely not
that's what
definitely not a
So
good
what's,
backup for
Henny's
Hellebuck,
plan
but
once he gets out there?
I
Is he a
swear, if
hockey player?
Hellebuck
Is he gonna get
decides
into
to leave
surfing in
and
LA?
leaves,
What's
forcing
the plan?
Skinner to be the main
What are you
goalie,
excited to do?
then the Jets are just screwed.
Pretty excited to do the LA hockey right now. Pretty excited to do junior teams.
Awesome.
Junior Kings? Right. Awesome.
Well, congrats to both of you, the whole family. Enjoy your time in L.A. Enjoy the summer, and thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one.
There's Eric Howla with Henny joining us. That's the first time I've interviewed a kid, but it's first of many here on Free Agent Frenzy. That's true. That is very true. I'm very used to that. Said at the breakers with Gord Miller. Gord, you're going to love that comment. Go ahead.
You sit 2 seats over from Jeff O'Neill, and you say that. So we have one to tell you about here. That is, we think the domino is starting to fall, and this is goaltender Stuart Skinner to the Winnipeg Jets.
2 years at 3.75 annual average salary for
Okay,
Stuart
so they
Skinner
signed
going
him
to the
for
Winnipeg Jets. And
very little.
It's part of the dominoes and how you put the pieces of that puzzle together. There was some conversation internally. Do they bring Eric Conroy back? To a degree, I guess there's
So from the looks of it, Arthur Sheelovs is going to be the new goalie, the main goalie for the Penguins.
31.
Which I know Pittsburgh would be very happy.
Into Winnipeg, so
plays a lot wherever he goes. right? He's not used to being a backup in the league. Now, maybe that is going to be a reality, but
but he's only a backup because he sucks.
On his way out at some point.
I'll leave it to the goalie experts that are sitting across the room, Brian, but there's something about
It's like he's
Stuart
only
Skinner.
had
I know
one
he's
good
had his flaws,
season.
but I think there's one guy that can regroup. And
This means Hellebuck. They know Hellebuck's
It's
going.
impossible. You cannot think of having a
But that would be a
Vezina
terrible
Trophy
thing to
netminder,
replace
Hart Trophy
Hellebuck
netminder,
with
and say,
Skinner.
your backup goalie
You're
is gonna make
just
$4 million.
downgrading.
Now, what it could mean is that Stuart Skinner is a good 1B, and then
I mean,
you're
any
gonna trade
replacement
Hellebuck
is a
and get
downgrade,
goalie
but
in return, and then you say
you would
that
rather have
goalie in return
Bobrovsky
and Stuart Skinner
replace
give us a good tandem.
Hellebuck,
And they may
not
even
Skinner.
be the money that Hellebuck is making now.
That's a good bit of business there for the Winnipeg Jets.
Agreed. I think we all
Good
agree.
value.
Stu Skinner could end up being the number one, but the question is, how long do they wait before they move Connor Hellebuck? We're waiting for the
But
other shoe to
no,
drop, isn't it?
that would be a
Yeah,
dumb
we most certainly are. And if we
idea
are
for the
here,
Jets.
you know what's happening in Winnipeg as well. And
Oh, Paul Connor is going to the Canucks for a year. I thought he was going to stay at the Devils. Yeah, he didn't have a good year last year, but still. Let's do it, Skinner. Sammy Urson, 2 years. Victor Arvidsson, Jack Rozovic, Zendas Vamanis, Tyson Forster, Dennis Jobert to the Sabres. Ross Johnson signed. Oh, he's going to the Blues. 3 years. Interesting. Ilya Mikheyev. Yeah. And they still haven't updated from the Red Wings to Rangers. Why couldn't this one be official? Why does Corpusolo have to go to the Rangers? Just why? Wait, Canadians forward leaves Montreal. I think you're talking about William Trudeau. Wait, Joe Veleno? No. Don't tell me we're getting Joe Veleno. No, that's not right. Really? Really? Joe Veleno is coming to the Rangers. But why? But Veleno sucks. And we already have all the centermen we need. We already have Zibanejad, Miller, Trocheck for now, and Noah Laba. Why do you need Joe Veleno? Why? He sucks. So much red.
another former Oiler, Stuart Skinner, on his way back to a Canadian
Oh,
market.
Matthias Maccelli is going to the Islanders.
Now Skinner coming back to Canada. Darnell Nurse sounds like he wants to go east. You know, maybe Pittsburgh, maybe Philly,
Oh,
maybe
so Darnell
Boston.
Nurse wants out.
He's got a big ticket. His reputation.
And if he's going to pick and choose at that price tag, there are so many variables
1 year,
that are
$2
included
million
this
with
guy.
the
I don't even know
Islanders.
how you make the transaction happen.
I'm not saying they're better, but I'm not saying they're not the
Wait,
worst team in the league. They're not miles
Rasmus
back.
Anderson
When you have
extended.
Draisaitl and listen,
Where
Edmonton's three
and how
defenders,
much
I don't
and
think
how
Edmonton's ahead of
long?
Edmonton, if we're being honest here.
But how far off is
No Juicen for 2 years. Well, Luke Schen's going back to the Canucks for a year. Vitek Vanacek got a 1 year million extension, so he's gonna be the third goalie. I think Varlamov is coming back. Matthias Maccelli. They haven't said anything about Joe Veleno yet.
Now you're in one.
I'm not a hero.
I like grabbing goal.
So I'm by myself because Luke Rich was in the box. I got to go by, and against my better wishes or judgment, I have to sort of stop.
Sure.
And be like, hey, leave my goalie alone. And Chief, as calm as can be, he just said to me, he's like, if you don't move, I won't kill you. And I just went, Well,
perfect.
I'm not moving.
Sounds like a deal to me.
Turning into
Then
a
you
barn.
have chosen death.
He'd already had his
I'm not
fill with everybody
afraid
else
of
in
you,
that
Craig.
skirmish.
Then you will die
Well, the whole
braver
thing was,
than most.
You know, I forget what Ty did.
Oh, Jacob Trouba. He's going to the Sharks. 4 years, $8 million. That's definitely gonna help with the defense. Rasmus Anderson, 7 years for $8 million. Wow. So the Ducks lost Trouba and Carlson. That's gonna suck for the defense. And they also lost Radko Gudas. Still says Red Wings, but it's Rangers. Yeah, it would have been nice to get Zuccarello back. Okay, now they're no longer saying anything about Joe Velenos.
Yeah, we got a bunch to talk about here. And Chris is busy typing it, so I'll tell you it. Devin Levi going from Buffalo to Edmonton.
Oh.
So the Oilers get Devin Levi.
Interesting.
Dominoes.
Yeah, so again, dominoes. And Levi is an interesting case. Of course, he went to Buffalo in a deal with Florida once upon a time. And the thought was that in Buffalo, he would be their number one guy. And he never really got traction there, so now he goes to Edmonton. CJ, we also have another signing to talk about. A fascinating one. One of the two Ducks, unrestricted free agent D, Jacob Trouba and John Carlson. And Trouba has gone to San Jose.
He goes to San Jose, yes, and the Ducks did have some interest in keeping him. They were only willing to go to a 2-year offer on this player. The San Jose Sharks get him on a 4-year deal at $8.25 million.
So a raise.
So
which is a
Trouba got
slight raise from where he's been
lowballed.
at an $8 million contract that just expired. And, I think it's a sign of where we're at in this marketplace. Obviously, San Jose is a team that needs defensemen. We've seen them make a deal this offseason for Michael Kesselring. It's been linked as a place perhaps where Morgan Riley might end up playing. But Trouba gets to go and be a veteran presence on a team that has a lot of enticing young players and prospects coming into its roster.
All right, but as they say, sometimes the toothpaste is hard to put back in the tube once the conversations have started.
Brabovsky, 3 years, $7 million per to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh, Bobrovsky is a Leaf.
A Drager bomb right at 2 o'clock. So Sergei Bobrovsky signs with Toronto. Give us the numbers again. 3 years.
3-year term, $7 million, which has been speculated on, but we
3
knew it was
years
close,
for
but
$7
now
million.
It's closer than close.
A
It's done.
2-time Stanley Cup champion, a 2-time Vezina Trophy winner.
Yeah.
So we got the reunite. So we got Bobrovsky and Stolars reunited again.
Brian, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Gord. We've been waiting for this news, right? It felt like it was moving in this direction the last couple of days. Sergei Bobrovsky going to the Maple Leafs. Craig, you were talking about it earlier. You think this can have a really big impact on what the Leafs can possibly do competitively this season?
100%. I think it shows signing him that you're in it to be competitive and push to get into the playoffs, and that's a huge start. And like I said, I know his age is up there, but he's a solid goalie. Now you have the tandem back together, him and Stolars. Pretty solid in net, in my opinion. I mean, and it shows the team that they're pushing the right buttons to get back in the playoffs.
So is Stolar staying?
Well, you might.
What happens now?
Something
I
else.
mean,
has to
he
happen.
is, but Stolars will likely be the backup goalie.
Waivers, so maybe.
Gino, I could see you and the boys ready.
Yeah, so the Panthers goalie is going to be Markstrom and Schmidt. So they replaced Bobrovsky with the Devils goaltending.
Yes, he's won a couple of Vezinas. Sergei Bobrovsky is going to come in there.
Oh, Kerfoot is going to the Predators.
If it's 50 games or less, I think that's a sweet spot for him. But he's going to up the professionalism in that
Did he
group.
get grossly overpaid as well?
The earrings are fine.
We've just seen the Leafs in the past sign guys who are beyond their primes and then go, what happened to this guy? He was so good over there and he can't bring it over here. We've seen this happen in the past.
Good
My
last
question, I'm not
season.
saying it's going to happen here. I'm asking you, what are the odds that it doesn't happen and that he does continue to maintain his level?
He doesn't have to play 65 games, just what Weeksley said.
He can be part of a tandem. He can give you 45 to 50 games. Then you're going to have Anthony Stolarz. We just talked about Akiyamov, butchered his name, who won the MVP at the Calder Cup. Yes, and he doesn't need waivers. So now you can have a three-headed monster that can chew up 84 games. What you need is him to play 45 to 50 games and be playoff ready. If this team gets better and gets back to the playoffs,
I mean, they will get better. They got Bobrovsky, they have Darren Radish, and they have Gavin McKenna.
It's not breaking the bank. And look, the Leafs, I'll say this. Last year, the Leafs were 27th in goaltending in goals save above expectation. Yeah. They did not get good goaltending by Stolarz and Wall. So they need... over there. Finally. Like, you didn't get good goaltending, Chief. That's why. And now they have to make a difference.
He thought he was playing with me.
Cost coaches their job.
That's right. So I got your back. I got your back.
Played with one of them over there, and I coached one of them.
Yes, exactly.
You know what? Last year,
I got you a job.
So, Mark, answer this question, because this is the one that really matters.
Devin
Who wears
Levi
number
traded the
72?
Oilers with
Sergei
third-round
Bobrovsky
pick.
or Gavin McKenna?
Interesting that
Alex
you bring that up
Kerfoot signs
because
2 year
McKenna did his introductory
for
news
$3
conference here
million
on
with the
Saturday,
Predators.
and he was asked, are you sticking with...
I just think that's how it would go. I'm sure Bobrovsky knows that it's first overall. It's not just some plug that got drafted in the 4th round that won 72. He's first overall. That's his number. If he wants to say, let's talk and negotiate, there's a Rolex exchange, and you get 72. That's the deal.
All right.
Johnny?
I don't know.
How about Bieber makes it?
Wait, it wasn't always 72. Bobrovsky. Whoa, Bobrovsky was number 35 with the Flyers.
Neither one's played for Toronto. Bob would get
So
it.
maybe-
Brian goes the veteran and the Hall of Famer.
So maybe
Nothing goes first overall.
if he wants
So
to give Gavin McKenna 72, Bobrovsky might decide to change to 35 that he wore with the Flyers.
His bank account number.
Yes, Darren.
Yeah, right-handed centerman is
Oh, Colton Sissons signing with the Leafs, 2 years, $4 million. Looks like Sissons likely could be a perfect replacement for Max Domi.
We have an update on Jersey Gate in Florida when Bob originally went there. Frank Petrano was 72.
Yeah.
Bottle of wine, hamburger. What was the other one, Billy? And a Rolex. Oh, there you go.
There
it was
you
a
go.
Rolex. So a Rolex, bottle of wine, and a hamburger.
His Vetrano had been in the NHL already, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Colton Sissons, $4 million. That's a good one. Vladislav Kolyachonok for a year. Oh, Brendan Halverson is going to the Stars. Artem Sheehan, Artie Hury, Mikhail Thomas, Alexander Kerfoot. Oh, Connor Clifton is it's returning to Boston. Nice. For 2 years, $4 million. Yep, Sergei Bobrovsky. Oh no, Chari is gonna go to the Flyers for 2 years. And Truba, yeah. Devin Levi. They're fixing the trades and stuff. God, they're saying that Joe Veleno's going to sign with the Rangers. Seriously? Joe Veleno? Really? That's that. That's how you want to start free agency. 4th line center. But we have Noah Laba. We already have Noah Laba as our 4th line center.
CJ, fair to say the Toronto Maple Leafs on day one of free agency have made the biggest splashes.
Absolutely, and really
Yep.
draw back a week or two to when they traded for Darren Radish's rights and signed him to a big contract extension, taking him away from being open on a day like this one. But getting Sergei Bobrovsky, Radish, adding a little bit to the forward group where they felt
And
they had
also
some holes,
adding Gavin
with Colton
McKenna
Sissons and Jack Roslovic.
and bringing in Colton
This is a team that is
Sissons.
drastically different than the one that John Chaika took over just 6-7 weeks ago. And I don't think it's going to stop here. The Leafs can still nibble around the edges.
Jordan Harris is going to the Boston Bruins. Ooh, Teddy Bluger, 2 years for the Leafs. Oh, so the Leafs got like a fourth line centerman out of it. That's good for them. Phoenix Copley signed 1 year with the Blue Jackets. Scott Lawton is going to return to the Canes. And nothing else. So, that was an interesting free agency for most teams, like Bobrovsky, Trouba, Carlson. Somebody interesting, but the Rangers just... The biggest thing I wanted in this free agency was to extend Braden Schneider. But instead, the only free agency that we've signed is Joe Veleno. And then to make it worse, we have to trade to Braden Jonas Korpisalo, stealing the spotlight from Dylan Garand that should have been his. Seriously. I figured that Drury was going to do something stupid again in the free agency, but as I was expecting them to get rid of Trocheck and Schneider for nothing, not bringing in Joe Veleno and Jonas Korpisalo. Seriously, why is Drury still here? Like, seriously, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but I swear to God, if they let Braden Schneider walk, if we lose Vincent Trocheck for absolutely nothing, I've officially lost hope on this team. Now I really want USA to win tonight in the World Cup to make me feel better, because this day sucks, and I'm still angry that Ecuador lost. But we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. Now, will this video be uploaded on time? I don't know. Chances are it may not be until 3 years for Cole Smith for the Blackhawks. But I am going to be leaving to go to Canada tomorrow on July 2nd and return on the 11th. So chances are this video may or may not be uploaded before. But if it's taking a long time, it will be uploaded when I return from Canada and stuff. So speaking of, happy Canada Day. And let's just wait and see what happens. Seriously hope the Rangers don't do anything more stupid.
4 hours later.
Okay, I got some updates that I need to share. I mean, it's like when I finished my recording and watching free agency, it was like almost 3 o'clock. Like, it's like I just finished exporting the video of the recording for this, so all I gotta do is edit it out and stuff. It's currently 6:20 right now, and more moves have happened, particularly for the Rangers. So last time we saw Cole Smith got 3 years, 9. Then Alex Belzile is back with the Canadiens for another year. Kaapo Kähkönen is back with the Montreal. Andrei Kuzmenko signed a 1-year deal with the Penguins. Oliver Bjorkstrand is coming to the Rangers for $4 million. Like, Bjorkstrand was really good in the beginning, especially with Columbus, and he definitely took off with the Kraken. Unfortunately, he just slowed down a little bit and spent time in the bottom 6 with the Lightning. But even though he's past his prime and not as good as he once was, he'll definitely be great for the bottom 6, if not the top 6. Like, I feel like he's going to be on the third line with Ty Cartier and Vincent Trocheck. And not only that, but Justin Hall got a year with the Capitals. Vincent Desharnais signed a 4x4 with the Capitals. A gross overpayment for a third pairing defenseman. The Nico Dahl's got a 2-year deal with the Devils, likely going to be the next backup goalie. Nick Jensen signed a 2-year deal with the Ducks. It's definitely good for the Ducks to get some defense. Declan Carlisle from the Lightning signed a 2-year deal with the Penguins. Cole Schwinn is back with the Panthers. Calvin Pickard signed a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Wild, meaning that Devin Levi will likely be the new backup goalie for the Oilers. Alex Petrovic has returned for the Panthers 2 years, likely reuniting with Kulikov. Dylan Dubé, one of the 5 Canadians that were tried for rape but found out that was not guilty, has returned to the NHL to sign a year with the Blues. Daniil Tarasov, who used to be the backup goalie for the Panthers, signed 1 year with the Red Wings. Eric Comrie is going to sign 2 years with the Sharks. Scott Perunovich for a year. Lane Peterson, Cameron Butler. Connor Sheary, who was a Ranger, is returning to Buffalo for another year. So with that, Connor Sheary is gone, which I felt like would happen. There's Trevor Kuntar, Poland. Jeff Malott from the Canes. Kevin Stenlund is returning to the Mammoth for another year. Mitchell Shafee and Matthew Kessel for the Islanders. Boone Jenner signed 4 years, $5 million for the Capitals. Then Sam Poland and some other names. Jeffrey Veal, 5 years, $2 million for a 4th line guy. Once again, another 4th liner getting paid a massive contract, a gross overpayment. Jacob Bryson's going to the Red Wings. Connor Mackey signed 1 year with the Blackhawks, so Connor Mackey is done with the Rangers, which is a shame because they did well. Vinny Hinostroza signed a 2-year deal with the Avalanche. Laurent Brossoit is coming to the Ducks for a year. Mason Shaw with the Wild. Ryan Shea, 5 years, $4 million for the Oilers. I would say an overpayment, but he's done really good for the Penguins. Sammy Blais going to the Senators for 2 years. Tomasino is with the Senators, which is a shock because I thought he did well with the Penguins. Johnny Brodzinski is gone. Signed 1 year with the Capitals. I had a bad feeling we would get rid of him. Then we got Joseph Fileno, which is official. At first it would suck, but it became useful later. Zach Bogosian's got to return to the Wild for 1 more year. Hunter Skinner, who was a Ranger, signed 1 year with the Predators. Matt Sogard, Michael Callahan with the Lightning. Anders Lee, the former captain of the Islanders, signed a 3-year deal worth $5 million with the Utah Mammoth. With that, the Anders Lee's time as an Islander is done. That's a big blow for the Islanders. The Rangers signed Mark Delgazzo for 2 years, which is a minor league signing. And that was all, but that's not all. There were also some trades, like Darnell Nurse got traded to the Sharks from the Oilers, so big cap room for the Oilers. Nick Paul traded to the Leafs. Keegan Colasar from Vegas traded to the Red Wings, and a big trade for the Rangers, Vincent Trocheck. He's gone. An era is over. The bad news is that we lost Vincent Trocheck, which I feared we would. But the good news is that we actually got a great return. We got Sean Dursey, Cole Badon, and a 3rd-round pick. Now, Sean Dursey is definitely the big name there. It's like, he's a really good defender, and he's spent the last few years on the top pair with the Coyotes and the Mammoth. Sure, he's not going to be on the top pair, but he's definitely perfect for the second pair on the right. Now, I know it's not official there yet, but there were more trades that the Rangers made. Okay, the Rangers made another trade, which is trading for Marcus Pettersson. We got Marcus Pettersson in exchange for a 2030 first round pick, top 10 protected. Now, is this a gross overpayment to get Marcus Pettersson? Yeah, but Marcus Pettersson is a really good defender, and he's definitely perfect for the second pair. So we got Marcus Pettersson and Sean Durzi. They're definitely going to be the second pair of defense for the Rangers. So, knowing this, it's now a decision between Braden Schneider and Will Borgen. Well, a move has been made. And the big move is that Will Borgen has been traded to the Boston Bruins in exchange for a second round pick and a 2028 third round pick. So, we officially found an idiot desperate enough to take the Borgen contract off our hands. It's like, Borgen was got a gross overpayment of 5 years, $4 million. Too much for a third parent defenseman. And with the Pettersson and Durzi coming in, I had a feeling it was between Borgen and Schneider. Thank God they decided to get rid of Borgen. It's like, we'll eagerly swallow the draft picks and stuff. I'll eagerly swallow Marcus Pettersson's 5-year contract that's more than Borgen and is older than Borgen, and Sean Durzi. I happily have those two there, as long as we don't have to deal with Will Borgen anymore. Thank God. We considered the biggest albatross contract for the Rangers, and we got rid of it, clearing up, and with that, and getting rid of Trocheck, the cap space is much open. We have like $6 million left on cap space. All we have to do now is to extend Braden Schneider and Scott Morrow, and then we should have hope for the season. So we definitely have more than enough to extend Schneider. Morrow's definitely good there, but those are the only two left. But the beginning was a bad start as we got Korpisalo, and so pretty much with Trocheck gone, Noah Laba is gonna return to becoming the third line center, and Joe Veleno is gonna be the fourth line center. I mean, at first Veleno wasn't needed, but now that the room is open, he definitely got his spot in the as a fourth line centerman. Could he stay? We don't know, but at least Veleno makes more sense this time now that the room is open. But Durzi's really good. Cole Badon was a first round pick for the Mammoth and could be a good steal. And we got a third round pick, which is good. I mean, it sucks that we got rid of Vincent Trocheck. I'm definitely gonna miss him. But at least we got something by giving up Trocheck. Unlike the Panarin trade, which we got a prospect and a third. I'm still pissed about that trade, but at least we got something good out of the Trocheck trade. We got something good out of that. We got another good defender, and we got rid of an albatross contract. So we just gotta wait, and hopefully Schneider gets extended, and also Morrow. Then we have a little bit of hope for next season. So, of course, the World Cup game gets blocked, and I have to make a Google Drive. But either way, let's wait to see what happens. But hopefully, we can end it in a good note, and that will be it.